My friends, if I were to tell you today that the words you mentally whisper to yourself in the silence of your own heart are the architects building the house you must live in tomorrow, would you believe me? We live in a universe of law, not of chance. There is no such thing as luck, good or bad, there is only law. And the great law of life is this: life is consciousness. What you are in your secret thoughts, that you must eventually become in your outer experience. Stay with me, for in the next few moments we are going to uncover the spiritual secret that wise men, mystics, and the true captains of industry have used for centuries to demonstrate true, lasting, and divine supply. Do not turn away. Do not let the distractions of the outer world pull you back into the fog of limitation. You are here because your soul is ready to awaken. You are here because you are ready to stop begging a distant God for favors and start demonstrating the truth of your own being. We are preparing to undertake a treatment, a scientific prayer, woven from the most powerful verses of the Psalms. But before we can pray with power, we must understand the instrument we are using. You would not try to operate a complex machine without reading the manual. Yet millions try to operate the tremendous engine of their own minds without understanding the first principle of mental science. There are words that have crossed oceans of time, words that have survived the wreck of empires, the passing of dynasties, and the crumbling of stone monuments. These are words pronounced by kings in the heat of battle, by mystics in the profound silence of the desert, by people broken in spirit seeking the oil of joy, and by men of great substance who understood that wealth does not begin in the bank account. It begins in the spirit. These words are found in the book of Psalms. Now, you must understand something very important about the Bible. The Bible is not merely a history book, nor is it a collection of moral fables for children. The Bible is the greatest textbook on psychology and metaphysics ever written, but it is written in a code, a symbolic language. When you crack that code, you find the instructions for mastering life. The Psalms are not just ancient poetry to be read with a pious face on Sunday mornings. They are not intended to adorn dusty altars in empty cathedrals. They are codes of vibration. They are metaphysical formulas. They are specific arrangements of thought designed to cut through the fog of fear and reconnect the individual mind with the universal mind, which is God. Consider the author, David. In the metaphysical sense, David represents the awakening soul, the beloved of God. David did not write these hymns from a throne of gold, at least not at first. Many of these psalms were written in caves in the wilderness while he was being hunted by King Saul. Saul represents the lower self, the intellect that is driven by fear, jealousy, and the need for control. David represents the spiritual self, the intuition, the part of you that knows God. David was alone, fragile, and surrounded by enemies. But his enemies were not just physical soldiers, they were the enemies we all face of fear, lack, insecurity, doubt, and despair. And yet, in the midst of that danger, David connected with a power that transformed his reality. That connection took him from being a forgotten shepherd boy, smelling of sheep and sleeping in the fields, to becoming the king of Israel, a legend whose name still echoes today. What was his secret? He possessed the golden key. He knew how to turn away from the appearance of danger and dwell in the secret place of the Most High. He knew that if he could keep his mind stayed on God, the outer conditions must change. And if I were to tell you that this same power, this identical power, is available to you right now, in your living room, it is no coincidence. For there are no coincidences in the divine mind that men of immense wealth and influence, such as John D. Rockefeller, carried fragments of this book with them and prayed with them daily. Now, the cynic will say, "Oh, that is just superstition." But the cynic is always poor in spirit and usually poor in pocket. Rockefeller did not read the Bible out of superstition. He read it for direction. He read it because he understood that the principles of stewardship, of vision, and of faith are practical laws. He famously said that his wealth grew because he gave away 10% of everything he earned. He started this when he was earning only a few dollars a week as a clerk. Why does this work? Is God a banker who demands a commission? Certainly not. God is spirit, absolute and complete. God needs nothing. But Rockefeller understood the law of circulation. You cannot receive what you are not willing to release. By giving, he was declaring to his subconscious mind, "I have plenty. My source is inexhaustible." And the subconscious mind, which is the faithful servant, saw this belief and manifested it as a vast fortune. For these men, the Psalms were a map. They were a compass. They were a conversation with the infinite intelligence. They knew that there is no success without a spiritual foundation. You can build a tower of money, but if it is built on the sand of fear, the first storm will wash it away. But if it is built on the rock of spiritual truth, it will stand forever. Let us be honest with one another. Have you ever felt that no matter how hard you work, abundance seems to escape you? You chase it, but it recedes like a mirage. You work harder, you stay later, you worry more, and yet the debt remains, the pressure mounts, and the breakthrough never comes. Why is this? It is because you are trying to change the reflection in the mirror, without changing the face that is looking into it. Your outer world is the mirror. Your inner consciousness is the face. If you are frowning in your mind, worried, fearful, feeling poor, you cannot smile in the mirror of your life. It is metaphysically impossible. Emmet Fox has said it 1,000 times, and I will say it again. You are the garden, God is the sun, and your mind is the soil. The thoughts you entertain, the concepts you hold, the emotional habits you nurture, are the seeds. If you plant seeds of nettles, you cannot harvest roses. It does not matter how much you pray for roses. If the seed is a nettle, the harvest is a nettle. Most people are planting seeds of I can't. It's too expensive. Times are hard. I never get a break. And then they wonder why their garden is full of weeds. The Psalms are the perfect seeds. They are seeds of a hybrid quality, divine seeds. Each phrase in the Psalms carries a specific vibration. There are psalms that heal the body by realigning the cellular structure with the pattern of perfection. There are psalms that protect the traveler. And there are psalms, the ones we shall focus on today, that activate the energy of divine prosperity. We must clarify what we mean by prosperity. We are not talking about the greed of the hoarder. Greed is born of fear, the fear that there isn't enough. That is poverty consciousness masquerading as wealth. True abundance is the realization that God is your supply. It is the deep, unshakable knowing that because you are a child of the universe, you are heir to all that the universe possesses. It is the feeling of freedom. It is the ability to do what you want, when you want, and to be a blessing to others. It is knowing that your supply is not dependent on your job, your pension, the stock market, or the government. Those are merely channels. The source is God. Channels may close, but the source never runs dry. If one channel closes, God will open another, often a wider and better one, if you keep your connection clear. This brings us to the reason why so many prayers go unanswered. You see, much of what the world calls prayer is nothing of the sort. It is actually a form of complaining to God. People say, "Oh Lord, I am so poor. Please help me. I don't know how I'm going to pay this rent. Please, please fix it." Do you see what is happening there? While the lips are saying, please, the mind is concentrating on poor, rent, and fear. In the science of mind, we know that what you concentrate upon, you increase. By focusing on the lack even in prayer, you are impressing the image of lack onto your subconscious mind. You are essentially meditating on poverty! Scientific prayer, what we call a treatment, is different. It does not beg, it does not plead, it claims, it acknowledges, it aligns. When Jesus stood before the tomb of Lazarus, he did not say, "Oh God, please, if you can hear me, try to bring him back." No, he said, "Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me." He acknowledged the fulfillment before the evidence appeared. This is the power of the Psalms. When you recite Psalm 23, you are not asking God to be your shepherd. You are stating a cosmic fact. The Lord asked my shepherd. It is present tense. It is an absolute statement. And because he is my shepherd, I shall not want. This is an order you are issuing to the universe. You are telling your subconscious mind, there is no lack in my life because God is the substance of my life. This changes everything. It flips the switch from darkness to light. I want to introduce you to one of the most vital concepts in metaphysics, the mental equivalent. You cannot have anything in your outer life unless you first possess the mental equivalent of it in your inner life. If you want a healthy body, you must have a subconscious belief in health. If you want a prosperous business, you must have the mental equivalent of success. If a person has a poverty equivalent in their mind, a deep-seated belief that they are unworthy or that money is scarce, you could hand them $1 million today, and within a year they would have lost it all. Why? Because their mental equivalent cannot sustain it. Their thermostat is set to poverty, and the subconscious mind will work day and night to bring their bank account down to match their belief. Conversely, if a person has the mental equivalent of wealth, if they truly know that supply is their birthright. You could strip them of every penny, drop them in a strange city, and within a year they would be prosperous again. They would attract resources, ideas, and people because their internal magnet is set to abundance. The Psalms are the tools we use to build this mental equivalent. They are the bricks and mortar of your spiritual temple. There are executives today, men and women of sharp intellect, who have memorized specific psalms to repeat before high-stakes meetings. There are elite athletes who declare them before stepping onto the field. There are artists who use them to find their flow state. This is not religion in the dogmatic sense. This is spiritual technology. It is about energy. It is about focus. It is about connecting the individual wire to the great power station of the universe. But, and this is the crucial point, it is not enough to merely parrot the words. A parrot can be taught to say, "The Lord is my shepherd," but the parrot does not demonstrate supply. You must incarnate the words. You must feel them. You must let them vibrate in your throat and in your heart. Jesus said, "The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit, and they are life." Why? Because they were charged with his conviction. When you speak these psalms, you must back them with your feeling nature. Have you noticed how some words have life? When a person tells you, "I love you," and they mean it, it impacts your physical body. You feel warm, your heart beats faster. When someone screams an insult, you feel a physical blow. Words are carriers of energy. When you take a psalm, which has been prayed by millions of souls for thousands of years, you are tapping into a reservoir of spiritual power that has been built up over centuries. You are stepping into a river of faith that is already flowing. This is why they work so quickly. They are charged with the faith of the ages. We are approaching the time where we will engage in this powerful prayer together. But you must be ready. You cannot put new wine into old wineskins. You cannot plant these seeds of abundance if your mind is filled with the rocks of resentment and the weeds of worry. I want you to understand that what we are about to do is reprogramming. Neuroscience tells us that the brain is plastic. It can change. When you repeat a thought with emotion, you are literally carving a new neural pathway in your physical brain. You are rewiring your hardware. But metaphysically, you are doing something even more profound. You are impressing the universal subjective mind. This mind is the creative agency of the universe. It does not argue with you. It does not judge you. It says yes to whatever you truly believe. If you believe, "I am lonely," the law says, "Yes, you are," and creates more isolation. If you believe, "I am provided for," the law says, "Yes, you are," and creates circumstances of plenty. The rich spiritual teachers, the millionaire mystics, understand this. They do not separate their faith from their finances. They do not separate God from their business deals. They know that God is the senior partner in every enterprise. Take the example of Truett Cathy or other devout builders of industry. They often made decisions that defied commercial logic, like closing on Sundays, because they were obeying a higher law, and the law honored them. They trusted a principle higher than the market. At the illusion of external action, how many times have you tried to fix your life by changing the outside only? You change jobs, but the new boss is just as bad as the old one. You move to a new city, but the same problems follow you. You get a loan to pay off debts, but a year later you are in debt again. That is because you are trying to change the shadow without moving the object that casts the shadow. You can work 20 hours a day. You can have 3 degrees. You can know all the right people. But if your internal program says scarcity, you will never rise above a certain level. It is like trying to drive a car with the parking brake on. You are burning a lot of gas, making a lot of noise, but you aren't going anywhere. The Psalms release the parking brake. When you declare, "He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in him will I trust," a Psalm 91t, you are not just reciting poetry. You are donning spiritual armor. You are training your soul to stand firm when the bill collector calls, or when the medical report is scary. You are anchoring yourself in truth, the resonance of truth. Have you ever wondered why, when you are in a dark moment, hearing a psalm can make you weep? Why does it bring such relief even before the problem is solved? It is because your soul recognizes the truth. Deep down, beyond your fear, beyond your conditioning, there is a spark of God within you, the wonder child, and that spark knows its heritage. When it hears the words of the psalm, it says, "Yes, this is who I really am. I am not this frightened little person. I am a child of the King." Faith is not blind belief. Faith is the perception of reality that the senses cannot see. Faith is the evidence of things not seen. When you pray the Psalms, you are activating that faculty of faith. You are looking past the lack, which is a lie, and seeing the supply, which is the truth. Preparing the soil, we are about to begin the powerful prayer composed of these sacred texts. But I must give you a warning, or rather, a guideline. If you do this prayer mechanically, it will have little effect. You must do it with feeling. You are going to do this prayer twice. Why twice? The first time is for your conscious mind. This is the intellect, the gatekeeper. It is the part of you that is analyzing my words right now. It needs to be convinced. It needs to understand the logic of what we are doing. The second time is for your subconscious mind. This is the deep feeling part of you. This is the part that rules your heartbeat, your digestion, and your vibration. This is the part that connects to the universal mind. We repeat the prayer to bypass the gatekeeper and drop the seed deep into the fertile soil of the subconscious. When you do this, magic happens. In the first round, you are sending the signal. In the second round, you are opening the channel. It is like dialing a number and then waiting for the connection. In the first pass, you dial. In the second pass, you speak. So, I ask you now to set aside your skepticism. Set aside your past failures. They are dead. Let the dead bury the dead. This moment is a new beginning. You do not need to be a saint to get results. You do not need to be religious. The law of gravity works for a saint and a sinner alike. If they jump off a building, they fall. The law of mind works the same way. If you align with it, it works for you. God is no respecter of persons. God respects principle. If you are ready to stop struggling and start demonstrating, if you are ready to let the river of divine supply flow through your affairs, if you are ready to prove God in your own life, then you are ready for this prayer. Take a deep breath. Center your attention on your heart space. Leave the world outside for a moment. There is only here. There is only now. There is only God. Let us begin the work. Ye have arrived at the threshold. We have spoken of the law, we have understood the theory, and we have intellectually accepted that the Psalms are the keys to the kingdom of abundance. But theory alone heals nothing. A man may know the chemical formula for water H2O, but if he is dying of thirst in the desert, reciting the formula will not save him. He must drink the water. Now, we are going to drink. What follows is the treatment. In the language of metaphysics, a treatment is not a plea to a reluctant deity. It is the scientific application of a specific thought, patterned to a specific condition, for the purpose of healing it. We are treating your consciousness for the belief in lack. We are treating your mind for the belief in limitation. We are surgically removing the fear of tomorrow and replacing it with the rock, solid conviction of God's eternal now. I need you to prepare your physical environment. If possible, close the door. Turn off the notifications on your devices. You are about to enter into an audience with the King of Kings, the divine spirit within your own heart. This requires your undivided attention. Sit comfortably. Do not cross your legs or arms. Let the energy flow freely. Place your feet flat on the ground, connecting with the earth, and turn your palms upward on your lap, a gesture of receiving. This is the body language of yes. Now, take a deep breath. Inhale slowly, holding the thought of spirit, and exhale slowly, releasing the tension of the world. Again, inhale the peace of God, hold it, and exhale the worries of the day. We are going to perform this prayer in two distinct movements. This is a technique of immense power. The first movement is for your conscious mind. In this phase, I will guide you through the Psalms with explanation, with logic, with authority. We must satisfy your intellect. We must give your reasoning mind something to chew on, so it does not rebel. We will declare the truth and explain why it is true. The second movement is for your subconscious mind. In this phase, we will drop the explanations. We will move into the rhythm, the feeling, the deep vibration. This is where the seed is planted. This is where the reprogramming happens. Are you ready? Let us turn away from the problem, whatever it is, debt, unemployment, fear, confusion, and turn our faces entirely toward the light. Infinite Spirit, Divine Presence, Thou art the only reality. We acknowledge Thee as the source of all life, all intelligence, and all substance. We step out of the shadow of human belief and into the light of divine truth. We are here to do business with the Father. The Psalm of Provision, Psalm 23. We stand now upon the foundation of the 23rd Psalm. We speak to the conscious mind and we say, The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Let the intellect understand this. A shepherd does not drive his sheep, he leads them. He goes before them. He anticipates their needs. If God is your shepherd, it is impossible for you to want. To be in want means to be outside of God's care, and that is a spiritual impossibility. Therefore, we declare to the confusion of the mind, I do not want for money. I do not want for opportunity. I do not want for health. The shepherd knows where the green pastures are. I do not have to struggle to find them. I do not have to manipulate my way to them. I simply follow the inner leading of peace. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures, he leadeth me beside the still waters. The green pastures are the state of abundance, not just money, but the richness of life. The still waters are the peace of mind. You cannot prosper with a turbulent mind. We claim the stillness now. In this stillness, ideas flow. In this stillness, anxiety evaporates. We affirm, my mind is a still lake reflecting the abundance of the heavens. I am at peace with my finances. I am at peace with my future. He restoreth my soul. This is the key. It is not the wallet that needs restoring first. It is the soul, the sense of worthiness, the sense of connection. We claim restoration now. We claim that every damaged emotion, every memory of poverty, every scar of past failure is being washed away by the divine restoration. I am restored to my factory settings, which is the image and likeness of God. We move now to the fortress of the 91st Psalm. The conscious mind often fears that if it gets money, it will lose it. It fears the evil eye, the economy, the thief. We address that fear now. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. What is this secret place? It is a state of consciousness. It is your own mind when it is thinking about God. When you are thinking about truth, you are in the secret place. No depression can find you there. No recession can touch you there. We declare, I live in the secret place. My supply is hid with Christ in God. It is untouchable by the market. It is secure. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God. In Him will I trust. Notice the words I will say. Why? You must speak it. Your word is your wand. We declare now, God is my fortress. Not my bank account, God. Not my job, God. When I make God my security, my outer security is guaranteed. I trust in the invisible law, not the visible chaos. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. This is the promise of immunity. Others may speak of hard times. The news may predict collapse. That is the 1,000 falling, but it shall not come nigh thee. Why? Because you are operating under a different law. You are in the world, but not of it. We affirm I am immune to the mass consciousness of poverty. I am immune to the contagion of fear. I stand upright in the midst of the storm, for my roots are in the divine. We move now to the engine of manifestation gratitude, the 136th Psalm. O give thanks unto the Lord, for He is good, for His mercy endureth forever. The intellect asks, why should I give thanks when I do not see the money yet? The Spirit answers, you give thanks to acknowledge the gift is on its way. Gratitude is the vibration of reception. When you thank God, you are signing the receipt for the package before the driver hands it to you. This forces the delivery. We declare, I thank you, Father, for the abundance that is mine right now. I do not look at the empty bank account. I look at the fullness of spirit. I thank you for the bills paid. I thank you for the unexpected checks. I thank you for the ideas that are worth millions. To Him that made great lights, for His mercy endureth forever. God made the sun. God made the stars. If He can generate the energy of 1 billion suns, can He not generate the rent? It is a trivial thing for the Creator of galaxies to balance your checkbook. We release the sense of difficulty. It is easy for God. Therefore it is easy for me. Commit thy way unto the Lord, trust also in Him, and He shall bring it to pass. To commit means to roll the burden off your shoulders and onto His. You have been carrying the weight of the world. Put it down. We say to the conscious mind, I resign as the general manager of the universe. I surrender the struggle. I commit my career, my business, my debt, my desires to the great law. Rest in the Lord, and wait patiently for Him. Fret not thyself. This is the command, fret not. Worry is the sand in the machinery. Worry is a prayer for things you do not want. We command the intellect, stop fretting. Stop, Kaku, as the law is working. We sum up this first movement with the great metaphysical statement of being I amt rasperduai, of ghetto medi vesibili. I amt she open do earth no man can shudi amt I am do no. Let the words settle. You have heard with your ears. You have agreed with your mind. You have reasoned with the truth. But now we must go deeper. We must go down into the engine room. We must speak to the subconscious mind, that silent, powerful builder that runs your life while you sleep. The subconscious does not need logic, it needs feeling. It needs rhythm. It needs certainty. I want you to close your eyes if they are not closed. Drop your attention from your head down into the center of your chest, into the heart space. Imagine a light there. In this next movement, do not try to analyze the words. Do not think about them. Drink them. Let them wash over you like warm water. Let them sink into your skin. Let them become a part of your blood and bone. You are not doing this. The Spirit is doing this in you. Relax. Let go. Receive. Ticisco de movimenti. Ticisquas ios img is as this section should be read with a hypnotic, rhythmic cadence. Pause where indicated. Emphasize the bold words. This is the implantation of the seed by infinite peace, infinite stillness. I am now in the secret place. The world fades away. The noise fades away. There is only this moment. There is only this presence. Of Psalm 23, the feeling of supply. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Feel that. No want. Complete satisfaction. The shepherd is here. I am safe. I release the struggle. I release the chase. He maketh me to lie down. Rest, rest. I am lying in the green pastures of God's abundance. It is all around me. It is beneath me. There is enough. There is more than enough. My cup runneth over. Visualize the cup overflowing. Not just full, overflowing. Joy overflowing. Money overflowing. Love overflowing. It is too much to hold. It spills over onto everyone I meet. I accept the overflow. I accept the surplus. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. I am a magnet for goodness. I do not chase blessings. Blessings follow me. They hunt me down. They find me. I dwell in the house of abundance forever. I am Spiriwai, Psalm 91, the feeling of safety. He is my refuge and my fortress. I am surrounded by a wall of divine light. Nothing negative can penetrate this wall. Fear cannot enter. Doubt cannot enter. I am safe in the system of God. His truth shall be my shield. I put on the armor of truth. I am invincible to failure. I am invincible to poverty. The arrow that flies by day, the terror by night, they cannot touch me. I stand tall, I stand strong, because he has set his love upon me. He will deliver me. I am delivered. The chains of debt are broken. The chains of lack are dissolved. I am Far-E. Psalm 136, the feeling of gratitude. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good. I feel the goodness of God circulating in my veins. Thank you, Father. Thank you for the supply that is rushing toward me now. Thank you for the channels that are opening this very second. Thank you for the wisdom that guides my hand. His mercy endureth forever. I am forgiven for my past mistakes with money. I am forgiven for my small thinking. The slate is clean. I start fresh today. I am a new creation in Christ. I am Gratefulal. Psalm 37, the feeling of trust. Commit thy way unto the Lord. I let go. I really let go. I take my hands off the wheel. God is driving, and God knows the way. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. It is happening. I don't need to see it to know it is happening. The seed is growing in the dark. The harvest is guaranteed. I wait patiently. I wait with joy. I do not fret. I do not worry. I smile at the future, because the future is God. I am Phi. Of the great affirmations of integration, let these words land with heavy, absolute impact. I am one with the infinite riches of the subconscious mind. I have a right to be rich, to be happy, and to be successful. Money is God's energy in circulation, and I am a perfect channel for it. I love money as a tool for good, and I use it wisely. My income is constantly increasing. My supply is endless. I am spiritually equipped to handle great wealth. I am generous. I am kind. I am powerful. God's wealth is flowing to me in avalanches of abundance. I deserve it.
I claim it.
ITISLOA. Erendisoitis isuligi ofte slowly coming back to the room, but holding the vibration. Now, stay in this vibration. Do not rush to open your eyes. Do not rush to move. You have just performed a spiritual surgery. You have planted a seed of nuclear power in the soil of your soul. What you have just spoken is the law. It cannot return void. It must accomplish that which pleaseth the atmosphere around you. It is different, isn't it? It is lighter. It is thicker with power. That is the presence of the Holy Spirit. That is the feeling of the mental equivalent taking shape. The cement is wet. The impression has been made. Now we must let it set. Breathe in deep gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And exhale, releasing it all to the universe. When you are ready, gently open your eyes. Look around the room. It looks the same, but it is not. Because you are not the same. You are now vibrating at the frequency of the solution, not the problem. The bridge has been built. The channel has been cleared. This concludes the sacred treatment. But remember, the prayer does not end when you say, Amen. The prayer ends when the demonstration appears. And between now and then, you must hold the watch. We have now completed the great work of the soul. We have spoken the word. We have impressed the subconscious mind. The seed has been planted in the dark, fertile soil of the Absolute. But now, we arrive at the most dangerous moment. Yes, I said dangerous. The moment immediately following a powerful spiritual treatment is the moment where the victory is either sealed or stolen. You see, most people believe that the prayer is the end of the matter. They wipe their brow, say, Amen, and then walk out the door and immediately begin to destroy what they have just built. Imagine a man who spends an hour building a beautiful sandcastle near the water's edge. He shapes the towers, he digs the moat, he creates a masterpiece. And then, the moment he is finished, he takes a bucket of water and throws it over the castle, flattening it back into formless mud. You would say that man is insane, yet this is exactly what 9 out of 100 people do with their prayers. They spend 20 minutes declaring, The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And then they spend the next 12 hours saying, I can't afford it. The economy is terrible. I'm terrified of this bill. I'll never get ahead. With one hand they build, with the other hand they tear down. And because the negative thought is usually accompanied by stronger emotion, fear is often more visceral than faith for the beginner. The negative thought wins. The sandcastle is washed away. So, stay with me. This final section is not just advice, it is the requirement for the law to work. If you do not follow what I am about to tell you, the prayer you just performed will remain a mere wish. But if you follow these instructions, rigorously, religiously, consistently, for just 7 days, you will see the walls of Jericho fall. You will see obstacles dissolve and supply appear in ways that will look like miracles to the uninitiated, but which you will know are simply the fulfillment of law. I am challenging you today to undertake a 7-day mental diet. You know what a food diet is. You restrict what goes into your mouth to heal your body. A mental diet is far more important. You restrict what goes into your mind to heal your life. For the next 7 days, you must not allow yourself to dwell on a single negative thought concerning your finances or your future. Note that I said you must not dwell on it. I did not say you will not have negative thoughts. You are human. The old momentum of fear is still spinning in your brain. Negative thoughts will come. They will knock on the door. What about the rent? What if you lose your job? Who do you think you are? You cannot stop the birds from flying over your head, but you can stop them from building a nest in your hair. When a negative thought comes, and it will, you must not entertain it. You must not invite it in for tea. You must not pull up a chair and argue with it. You must treat it exactly as you would treat a spark of fire that falls on your sleeve. You brush it off immediately. You do not stare at the spark and ask, I wonder where this came from. I wonder why it chose me. No, you brush it off before it burns you. This is the discipline. For 7 days, every time a thought of lack, poverty, or fear arises, you must instantly slay it with the truth. You say to that thought, I cancel that. The Lord is my shepherd. God is my supply. Get thee behind me. You must be ruthless. You cannot afford the luxury of a single negative indulgence. If you were walking on a tightrope across a canyon, you would not afford the luxury of looking down or getting dizzy for even a second. You are walking the bridge of faith now. Keep your eyes on the goal. Part of this mental diet is the absolute prohibition of complaint. To complain is to sign a contract with the devil of poverty. When you complain about the price of gas, the cost of food, the taxes, or your low wages, you are affirming that you are a victim. You are affirming that the outer world has power over you. Metaphysically, a complaint is a negative vow. You are decreeing, I am weak, I am poor, I am limited. And the law of mind, which is an impersonal servant, says, very well, sir, you are weak, poor, and limited. And it arranges your affairs to prove you right. For these 7 days, zip your lips. If you cannot say something that affirms abundance, say nothing. If you go to the store and the prices are high, do not say, it's robbery. Say silently, God's supply is infinite. There is plenty for everyone, including me. I bless the abundance that provided these goods. Do you feel the difference? One constricts your soul, the other expands it. One closes the channel, the other opens it. Avoid the complainers' club. You know who they are. The people at work, the friends, the family members whose favorite hobby is discussing how bad things are. They love to trade stories of sickness and poverty. They get a perverse satisfaction from being the victim. During these 7 days, you must avoid them. If you cannot avoid them physically, you must avoid them mentally. Do not join in. Do not nod your head. Do not agree. When they say, "Times are hard," you say nothing, or you smile and say, "My God is supplying all my needs." They may think you are crazy, let them. You are the one who is going to be free. They are the ones who will remain in the prison they have built with their own tongues. You are the thermostat, not the thermometer. Do not reflect their fear. Radiate your faith. The law of circulation. Now we come to the second great pillar of this practice, the law of circulation. You have asked for supply. You have prayed for money. But you must understand the nature of money. Money is not a thing. It is energy. The word currency comes from the word current, like a river, like electricity. It must flow. If you stop the flow of electricity, the light goes out. If you dam up a river completely, the water becomes stagnant and toxic. Many people pray for money, but they are in a state of terrified constriction. They are holding on to every penny with a death grip. They are afraid to spend, afraid to give, afraid to tip. They are signaling to the universe, "This is all there is. If I let this go, no more will come." That signal is a signal of poverty, and it blocks the answer to your prayer. You cannot demonstrate abundance from a mindset of hoarding. To receive, you must open your hand. And you cannot open your hand to receive if it is tightly clenched to hold on to what you have. So, here is the instruction for the next 7 days. You must circulate. I am not telling you to spend money you do not have on foolish things. That is not faith, that is stupidity. I am telling you to break the paralysis of fear by moving the energy. Find a way to give. It might be a small thing. Perhaps you tip the waitress a little more than usual, and you do it with a silent blessing. God bless you and your abundance. Perhaps you give a few coins to a charity. Perhaps you buy a coffee for a friend. It is not the amount that matters to the divine mind. It is the spirit of the act. When you give even a little, you are declaring to your subconscious mind, "I have enough. I am not afraid. I trust the source to refill this vessel." This breaks the psychological logjam. It proves to your own soul that you believe in the prayer you just prayed. There is a famous analogy in the Holy Land. There are 2 seas fed by the river Jordan. One is the Sea of Galilee. It is full of fish, full of life, green and beautiful. The other is the Dead Sea. It has no fish, no life can survive in it. What is the difference? The river Jordan flows into both. But the Sea of Galilee takes the water in and lets it flow out to the south. It circulates. The Dead Sea takes the water in and holds it. It has no outlet. It hoards every drop. And because it hoards, it turns bitter, salty, and dead. Do not be a Dead Sea. Be a Galilee. Let the good flow through you. If you want more money to come in, make space for it by letting some money go out with love and blessing. Bless every bill you pay. Yes, bless your bills! Most people curse their bills. "Oh, the electric company, those thieves!" No, change your mind. Look at the electric bill and say, "Thank you, Father, for the heat, the light, the comfort this represents. I bless this company. I pay this with gratitude, knowing that my source is infinite." When you pay a bill with gratitude, you transform a debt into a seed. You are no longer losing money, you are circulating good. And the law of circulation dictates that it must return to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Now, a word of caution, a very serious caution. Tell no man, do not go running to your spouse, your friends, or your co-workers and say, "I am doing this great spiritual abundance prayer for 7 days. Why not? Because they will doubt you. They will ridicule you. They will say, "Don't be silly, be realistic," and their doubt will serve as a cold wind that freezes your tender spiritual plant. But there is a deeper metaphysical reason for secrecy. Prayer generates spiritual steam. It builds up pressure, power, to move the piston of your life. If you talk about it, you are opening the valve and letting the steam escape into the air. You feel good talking about it, but the power is gone. You have dissipated the energy in chatter. Keep your mouth shut and your internal valve closed. Let the steam build up. Let the pressure rise inside you. Let that holy energy accumulate until it becomes so strong that it must push the obstacle out of the way. Mary, the mother of Jesus, kept all these things and pondered them in her heart. She did not gossip about the angel. She held the energy. You must do the same. This is a secret treaty between you and God. Let the results be your announcement. When the demonstration comes, and it will, you won't have to tell anyone. They will see it. Here is the test you will face. I want to warn you so you are not surprised. During these 7 days, it is very likely that the evidence of the senses will contradict your prayer. You have just prayed, "I am wealthy," and 5 minutes later the mailman brings an overdue notice. You have just prayed, "I am successful," and your boss criticizes your work. You have just prayed, "I am healthy," and you feel a pain in your side. What do? The beginner says, "Oh, it didn't work. Look at the evidence. I am a fool," and he gives up. The metaphysician says, "I judge not by appearances, but by right judgment." You must understand the time lag. When you look at a star in the night sky, you are seeing light that left that star thousands of years ago. The star might not even be there anymore, but you still see the light. Your current reality, your bank account, your debt, your job situation is like that star. It is the result of your past thinking. It is the dead light of yesterday's thoughts. When the bill comes, say to it, "You are a fact, but you are not the truth." A fact is a temporary condition. Truth is an eternal law. It is a fact that it is raining. It is not a truth that it must always rain. The sun is the truth. Do not be intimidated by facts. Facts can change in an instant. The moment you change your mind, the cause of the fact is cut off. You are now creating a new future. So when the bad news comes during this week, stand your ground, stare it in the face and laugh. Say, "You have no power over me. You are a shadow of the past. I am operating in the new now. My supply is present." This is what it means to walk by faith and not by sight. It means you trust the principle more than you trust the piece of paper in your hand. Finally, you must begin to act the part. If you were already the wealthy, secure, generous person you want to be, how would you carry yourself today? Would you walk with your head down, shuffling your feet, looking worried? No. You would walk with dignity. You would have a spring in your step. You would smile at people. You would be calm. Begin to adopt that posture now. Act as if. This is not pretending, this is assuming the vibration. Wear your best clothes, even if you are just staying home. Clean your house. Order creates a channel for prosperity. You will never see a wealthy mind in a filthy environment. Clean your car. Organize your wallet. Treat your money with respect. When you bring order to your physical world, you are preparing the landing strip for the airplane of abundance. You are saying, "I am expecting a visitor. I am ready." If you pray for rain, go out and buy an umbrella. If you pray for abundance, clean your checkbook and get ready to manage it. The grand conclusion, my friends, we are coming to the end of this instruction, but for you, it is the beginning of a new life. You have the tools. You have the Psalms, the codes of power. You have the treatment, the method of operation. You have the mental diet, the discipline of the mind. You have the law of circulation, the key to the flow. Now, the question is, do you have the grit? Spiritual work is not for the lazy. It is not for the wishful thinker. It is for the brave. It requires more strength to control a thought than to lift a weight. But the rewards are infinite. You are a child of the Most High God. It is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. The kingdom is not a place far away. The kingdom is a state of consciousness. Enter that kingdom now. Take these 7 days. Dedicate them. Make them holy. Do not miss a morning prayer. Do not miss an evening prayer. Watch your thoughts like a hawk. Give with joy. Keep your secret. And I promise you, by the authority of the law that holds the stars in place, you will see the windows of heaven open. You will see opportunities where there were walls. You will see supply spring forth from the desert. You are the alchemist. Your mind is the laboratory. The Psalms are your formula. Go now and turn the lead of your fear into the gold of your freedom.